What's up, everybody? Welcome to the My RC Life YouTube channel, where we do all things RC and a little bit of everything in between. Let's go!
What's up, everybody? Trax is Mike from My RC Life. A while back, my old E-Revo here started clicking a little bit. I'm thinking it's a diff, front or rear. I don't know which one. I'm just going to rip it apart and check them both out, I guess. I don't remember where I thought it was coming from at the time when I heard it click. You know, I thought in my head, oh, it's probably the front or the rear or whatever. But that was like a long time ago. And I haven't ran this car lately. So I don't remember where it was coming from. That's the one downfall when you have like 30 RC vehicles between planes, drones, trucks, boats. It's hard to keep track of everything. So sometimes if you sit it down for a while, you forget what was going wrong with it. Or you forget if there wasn't even anything wrong with it at all. So we're going to tear into this today. Pretty much this is going to be our gist of tools here. 1.5 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter, and a 3. Although you very rarely use the 3. I don't think I'll use the 3 on this E-Revo at all. Those ones obviously go into my Ugga Dugga here. But I also have the 3 main ones in hand tightening form as well. Well, I think I'm going to start with the front end. And then check that all out. And if that one is still good, I'll go ahead and freshen it up with some good fluid. And reassemble it, and then we'll go to the back. I don't want to have them both tore apart at the same time. Just easier to keep track of bolts and stuff like that. You know, these are always handy, but when you're dealing with a bunch of different size bolts and lengths, I like these because it's you can sit them in sections, you know. Pop all these little guys out so they'll stick to the magnet in the bottom. If you follow my channel, look at what my pile of goop's doing. Look at all the metal strips in there that the magnet is took out of there. This was some 20 million fluid I pulled out of, I think out of my Outcast. Yeah, it was out of my Arma Outcast and had metal in it, you know, and it was just a big ball. I sat it on here and it flattened out, and then this is magnetic. So the magnetic waves or whatever in here, aligned all the metal grindings up into lines. Ain't that nifty? Looks like carbon fiber almost. Alright, enough yapping. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start by pulling some of these skid plates off from underneath. Got the center one. And I know I said I was going to start with the front end, but I did start on the rear end instead. Get that rear skid plate off. I pull the pins out of the A-arms. Start pulling off some more of the parts. Pull off that rear wing. Take off the rocker arms for the suspension and things of that nature. Got the whole rear suspension off now. Get the rest of the shocks and stuff off. Now I got the rear diff out, and I'm not doing a good job of holding the camera, but I'm pulling the rear diff out of the rear diff carrier now. As you can see, the spiral cut diff is okay. It is a little bit chewed on the very edges here. That's when I had it in there before and I didn't shim it. I pulled it out, shimmed it, and it's totally fine. The inner spider gears in there look A-okay. So that is not what is causing us the problem. So this goes back together. Top it off with some good 20 million. Goes back together and we tear the front end apart. Okay, I am filling that rear diff back up with some 20 million silicone diff fluid. And working it into a ball, shoving it in there. bolting that rear diff back together. Put a little bit of track grease onto the ring gear and put it back into the diff housing there. And then I put it all back into the rear bulkhead. Bolt that rear bulkhead back into the car. There we go. Bolt the rear drive shaft back up. Put them shocks back in. And the rockers. Love that cantilever suspension. And if you'll notice, I make a mistake right here. I put my upper A-arms on backwards. That rounded part that goes up front by the shocks, that should actually be facing the back part of the car, because now the push rods for the shocks actually rub on those upper A-arms. I didn't notice it until later. Put the rear skid plate back on. Put the rear wing back on. Starting on the front here, pull off that skid plate, pull off the front bumper, unbolt that front bulkhead and the front rocker arms, pull them and the shocks all the way off, and start pulling the pins for the front lower A-arms and the upper A-arms. There, I got the whole front suspension out of the way. A few more bolts for that bulkhead. Now the bulkhead's all out, and I'm pulling out the diff casing there. I got the diff out of the casing. I pull it all the way apart. Well, guys, after tearing this all apart, I got a spiral cut ring and pinion in the front end too. This one, the ring and pinion looks beautiful. The rear one did look a little chipped towards the back, but I don't think that was what was clicking. The spider gears in this one look absolutely fine as well. I don't know. I'm kind of starting to lean on the transmission now. I've never had the transmission apart on this car ever in my life. I've had it for over 10 years. Maybe, just maybe, I've tore a transmission gear out of it. I think I'm going to go ahead and tear that transmission out of it. And if I can't find nothing in there wrong, I'm going to put the car back together, run it, see if I can hear anything clicking or making any noise. And if it just still does click or make any type of noise, I think I will tear the rear diff out of it again and replace it. Because that's the only place so far that I've seen any wear on any gears, was that rear diff. But like I said, I had that apart a while back because, and it was starting to make a little noise because it wasn't shimmed right. And I shimmed it and it's been fine. So I really don't think it's that rear ring and pinion. And the spiral cut ring and pinion gears are kind of pricey. So I don't really want to have to replace those if absolutely possible. So that's why I'm going to go with the tearing the transmission apart next. And I've never, like I said, I've never ever tore one of those apart in an E-Revo. So it's going to be a new experience for me. But I'm going to go ahead. I refilled this diff with some 20 million weight fluid, just like I did in the rear one. Going to reassemble it all and get into the transmission, I guess. Assembling the diff, filling it full of 20 million silicone fluid. Then I'm putting some grease on it, putting it back inside the diff casing. Slide the diff casing into the housing, and now I'm unbolting the transmission. And I got the transmission all out of there, and I'm going to take the few bolts and split that transmission. See what it looks like. Alright, it's my first time ever having an E-Revo diff apart, and it looks like it just consists of 3 gears here. This one here is plastic, but it's definitely, I mean, it might have a light bit of wear, but it's not what's making the clicky noise. That gear is definitely not slipping. And these other 2 in there are good too. They're metal. So yeah, that's definitely not the problem. So I'm going to put this back together. I'll run it tomorrow, which it'll be all in the same video for you guys. But I'm going to run it tomorrow, see if anything clicks. And then if it does, it's got to be that rear diff. That's the only gear that I've seen any slight bit of damage to. So we're going to reassemble this thing. Alright, I'm throwing them bolts back into that transmission, getting it reassembled. Flop it back down in the car, bolt the dry shafts back up. Now, these dry shafts are supposed to go one way. The dog bone way goes towards the transmission, and then the red rings go towards the differentials. Front end's a little harder than the rear end because you got these steering pieces and stuff. Alright, I'm getting that all figured out. And my bolt the bulkhead in. Start by throwing in one corner. I'm trying to figure out, is this the right section of suspension, or does that go on the other side? And it was correct. I had it right. Slide my pins in to hold my lower A-arms. And we're going in nice and good. The upper ones all put in, the upper pins. And then there's these little spacers that you can stick on your pins so there's no wobbling back and forth on your A-arms because they can't slide back and forth. It does extend your wheelbase a little bit too. Put the rocker arms on to the push rods for the suspension there. Bolt the shocks down. Those are also bulkhead bolts too. Bolt that front bumper back on. That two-piece front skid plate. And then I finally figured out the mistake I made on the rear upper A-arm. See what I did there by flipping them around? Got that all figured out. Then I just go ahead and put that center skid plate on, and it's all done. Alright, so I got that rear diff taken apart. I didn't think it looked too bad. It had a little chip on the very outer edge of the ring gear. But the spider gears look good, and so did the pinion gear. Then I tore the front end apart, and it looked totally awesome. I got a spiral cut diff in the front end as well. Spider gears look good, ring gear look good, pinion gear look good. And then, since everything looked okay, I thought I would check out the transmission that I never had apart, and that looks fine too. So I'm going to go ahead, throw some batteries in this in the morning, run it, see if I can make it click. If it does click, I'm going to order a new rear ring and pinion, spiral cut ring and pinion for this. Alright, tomorrow morning I'm going to go ahead and run this bad boy right now. We got a whole new day, and we're going to go ahead and take this thing out and see if it's clicking or not. Something is indeed clicking. It's indeed clicking. At this point, I guess we just drive it until it breaks. Hi, Isla. What are you guys doing? It's okay, Luke. It's just a car. What are you girls doing? Oh, stop it. Yeah.
Look at you like a car.
Oh. You okay? Yep. It's okay, Luke. It's just a car. What's this one's name?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Okay, they're gonna chase Strawberry. Oh, cause it crashed a couple times. It's kind of got like a little owie, just like that. This little owie, but it'll be okay. It's healed up. It's not bleeding. Oh, you all right? Brush it off. All right. That's why I'm going slow, to make sure you don't fall. Was you okay? Yeah, that's good. You girls be careful. Isla crashed.
Can I get you on the back?
Yeah. Strawberry's doing circles around you. Strawberry's doing circles around you. Oh no. What do you think about that? What's wrong with Strawberry doing circles around you guys?
You want to play with us?
He want to play with us? Yeah. Ooh, nice flashlight. Whoa! What do you think about that?
That is so cool.
Do it again? Okay, here we go.
Can I have your fast way so I can see it?
Oh, yep. Watch it do circles. Here we go. Whoa! He stood on his back 2 legs, huh? Are you getting tired out yet? Yeah. You think Reagan's getting tired too?
Are you waking?
No, she's not tired, is she? Oh, it's chasing ya! Strawberry's chasing ya! Here it comes! Oh no! Ah! Killer Strawberry! It was watching you, wasn't it? It was watching your hand signals. Go like this, go. Oh, it's not listening. It's not listening to Reagan. Only Isla. Oh, it sees Isla saying stop. Back up and turn around.
I don't like to ride in my baby seat. I don't have a baby.
I want to ride in the baby seat. I'm too big though. Oh, he's ignoring you now. That was a bad strawberry.
I don't like you, baby. Are you okay, little baby? Loki, it don't want. Wait, I need it on so no bugs.
Oh, you're pushing your sister. Holy cow. No, I'm not a big popcorn eater.
Driving last night.
It's clicking sometimes and not clicking the other time. There we go. We got her making some noise now. Okay, must have been that rear end. Because it's only the front spinning now. Yeah, it was definitely the rear end. Alright, well, as you guys heard out there when I was running it, it's definitely clicking and we finally got it to completely go out. And it looks like the rear end. Let's pull it apart now and see if it's the spider gears or the ring and pinion on the rear end. I think it's probably the ring and pinion. Alright, I'm pretty much a freaking professional at tearing this thing apart. Unbolt those shocks, pull off the rear wing, unbolt the rocker arms. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but Trixie's running around in the bedroom. I see her there. Okay, unbolt this bottom skid plate, take off the center skid plate just because it's easier to unbolt that rear drive shaft. Okay, we got that off. Pull these pins and stuff out, get the rear end off, get that differential out of the casing. Here we go. Alright guys, so you can see this thing's all busted and the pinion came right out. Like it broke the plastic right on the end. So let's get this thing opened up. So what actually happened So it looked like I broke the whole snout off from right here. And it was when I would torque it up, it would get this flexing sideways. And it would make it so the ring and pinion didn't sit together really well. You know, flex out like this. It would skip a teeth or couple teeth. And you can see I chewed it up this time. Dang it. That really burns my butt. But yeah, the ring gear, I mean, it don't have no teeth missing. But it's pretty chewed up. But yeah, I'm kind of bummed that it chipped that up. Wonder if it had anything to do with my homemade shim I put in there. So, I see it's cracked on the side. And I seen that yesterday when I had this tore apart too. A little bit on the side there. And I thought that wasn't no big deal. Because it wasn't like a crack on this piece. Where the differential spider gears are at. So I thought that'd be okay. But you know what? Now I'm just realizing, no, it wouldn't be okay. When it torques up, it would spread that crack. Which would allow this pinion to walk sideways some. And that was probably what caused everything. So I think I'm going to go to an aluminum one of these. And see if that helps things out. Alright, well that's it for this video, guys. I'm Traxxas Mike from My RC Life. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching another episode of My RC Life. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.